back to another edition of the Captain's Talk. We're here with a new set. We're here with Elliot, Prescott, and Dirk Nowitzki, the legend himself. I'm here with Jordan Ochoa, the legend himself as well.
Hello.
But let's get right to it. Breaking news out of the NBA. After we shot our first episode, Jimmy Butler asked for a trade away from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and his three spots were the Nets, Knicks, and the LA Clippers. What do you have to say to that? I was shocked. I was very shocked about that.
I was definitely surprised, Tim. I didn't see this trade coming out anywhere. I knew there was problems. I knew people weren't liking each other in the organization, but I didn't see something this big gonna happen so soon. And the teams he has chosen are all rebuilding teams. They have a couple of decent players, maybe not one big star, but decent players, and what they need is that big star. And I see Jimmy trying to be the face of the Nets, the Clippers, and the Knicks organization.
Talking about rebuilding, the Kings are also in that conversation as well. I've been hearing that he's a perfect fit for the Kings, but there's also been intense conversations down in South Beach that Jimmy Butler could also join Dwayne Wade on his last season with the Miami Heat. Do you see that happening at all?
I don't see that happening, Tim. I think those are just speculations from other people. I think the team he will be on would be one of those three that he said.
I personally think he's going to join the Clippers. Clippers have lots of money. Lob City's over. Chris Paul is gone. To trade away Blake Griffin. DeAndre Jordan signed with the Dallas Mavericks over the offseason. I think that's a great landing spot for him because they have all that money. He can sign a big contract and have his own team to himself. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with that, Tim, but going back to the Kings, I do think that'd be the best fit for him. I don't think he'll go there, but I think that'll be the best fit with the rookies they have on that team, like
Fox.
They have Bagley, they have Buddy Hield, they have good young talent, and he could really train them up and build around them, and I think that'd be the best fit.
Sticking with the Minnesota Timberwolves, after Jimmy Butler asked for that trade, they extended Karl Anthony Towns' contract for a 5-year, $190 million. Is that a statement towards Jimmy Butler, or was that just planned?
I think it's a statement, Tim. They definitely had the money, as do all the other teams that he has selected he'd like to play for. Mm-hmm. They equivalently have the money that they could have signed him to a max contract deal. But I think they definitely sided with Karl Anthony Towns, so they wanted to show whose side they were on, basically, and they paid him his contract.
And talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, they made the playoffs last year, but fell short against the to the champions, the Warriors. With Jimmy Butler asking for a trade, if he gets granted and he gets traded away, do you see the Timberwolves making the playoffs again, or them missing it?
I could say if they play how they did in the postseason, which was good, but they struggled in the playoffs as Karl Anthony Towns is basically absent for them, barely getting rebounds, points, really doing anything. He's just on the court. And if he can show out in the playoffs, I believe they can make it, and they can maybe do some damage, but it's definitely going to be a hole without Jimmy Butler there.
And with all that drama going on, preseason does start this Friday, September 28th. And I can't wait for basketball to come back. I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited for my new Maverick look. Are you excited about OKC?
Yes, Tim, I am excited about OKC. I think we're going to be stronger this year.
I think we're going to not be in the bottom three. I think we're going to be an 8 seed. I think the Mavericks will be 8 seed, but that's a conversation for another time right now.
People can dream.
People can dream. Well, talking about dreaming, let's look at some college football scores. Let's start with dreaming. Texas. They basically answered our question from last week's show. Is Texas back?
I'd say yes,
I
Tim.
think they're back. They have just upset the number 17 team in the country, TCU, with a 31-16 win. Alabama takes care of Texas A&M, 45-23. Old Dominion was supposed to lose this game by 4 touchdowns. Jordan, they upset number 13 Virginia Tech, 49-35. That shocked me. I watched the final quarter, and I was just in disbelief.
That just shows, Tim, anything can happen. It doesn't matter what team you are,
Anything can happen.
what players you have. Just don't look at them like they're some random team, because that's how upsets happen.
Anything can happen, indeed. What did happen? Coach Miles came back from Ohio State and they took care of Tulane, 49-6. Another upset. Kentucky upsets Mississippi State, 28-7, and Kentucky's undefeated. And another upset. Texas Tech over number 15 ranked Oklahoma State, 41-17. Now looking ahead to Week 5 for the college football world, we have some big games coming up this week. As you can see on your screen, we have number 20 BYU over against number 11 Washington. We have number 19 Oregon against 24 Cal. We have number 12 West Virginia with the winner over that Oklahoma State game, Texas Tech. They're in the polls for the first time since a while. They're number 25. We have a 7 and 8 matchup, Stanford and Notre Dame, and we also have the game of the week, Ohio State versus Penn State, 2 top 10 teams, again with Notre Dame and Stanford, 2 top 10 teams. And we're going to do some picks right now. Jordan, BYU or Washington?
I'm going with Washington, Tim.
Why is that?
I just believe, honestly, they have the job to get it done, and they have what it takes to win that football game versus them.
I've been studying BYU's tape actually this past day. Them upsetting Wisconsin at Wisconsin really surprised me. Washington only beat Arizona State by 1 TD, so I have BYU over Washington. West Virginia, not West Virginia, I'm sorry. Notre Dame and Stanford, the 7 and 8 matchup. That's a big one. I have an aunt that works in Notre Dame, so she would kill me probably if I don't go for Notre Dame. So I'm gonna have to go for Notre Dame. Who do you have, Jordan?
I'm gonna agree with you, Tim. I think the Fighting Irish are gonna pull this one out versus Stanford.
All right, and then the game of the week, Ohio State versus Penn State. That's gonna be a nail biter, a very nail biter. Who do you have?
I'm taking the Buckeyes, Tim. I think they can beat Penn State. I really do.
Well, that's really tough. I've been back and forth on this all week long. After seeing TCU fall to Texas, Ohio State I think had it easy for them, honestly. But I don't think Coach Miles' second game back is gonna do a lot, and I have Penn State over the Buckeyes. I know that's a little upset pick, but my actual upset pick is Syracuse, the undefeated Orange, over the number 3 seeded Clemson. I have the Orange beating them by a field goal. Who's your upset pick this week, Jordan?
My upset pick, Tim, this week is Texas Tech and West Virginia, and I have Tech winning.
You have Tech, another upset for Tech. You have the guns up. All right, switching to the other field, the bigger field, NFL.
Paid players.
Paid players. How about them Browns? Browns showed up, not the Browns. Baker Mayfield. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield real quick. That man, if he continues this role and he takes the Browns to the playoffs, Baker Mayfield's going to win Rookie of the Year. Guaranteed. That's a fact for me.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Tim. Let's work with, he played half a game. Yes, he did very well. He's a tremendous talent. And I see him doing very well in the league and maybe winning Rookie of the Year. I think for him, he just needs to have a one-track mind and just look at every game one at a time. Just get the win.
All right, let's look at the other games around the league, too. We had the Browns winning against the Jets 21-17, and that was a very interesting game, Jordan. Cowboys losing to the Seahawks 13-24. That was really disappointing.
That definitely hurt Tim. I was definitely wrong in my predictions that the Cowboys would upset the Seahawks, but I don't really want to talk about it.
Anyways, let's look at the rest of the scores. We had Ravens beating the Broncos 27-14. We had Drew Brees leaping over the Falcons.
Breezes.
D-line for an OT win, 43-37.
Spin move, broken tackle. Definitely, it doesn't matter how old Drew Brees gets, still top quarterback in the league.
2 big upsets on the right-hand side. The Redskins over the Packers, 31-17. I believe that loss is just because of Aaron Rodgers' injury. I think it's still bothering him. but I think he'll
He's
come back
definitely one of
strong.
those players to play through his injury, and I agree, Tim. He doesn't look 100% out there.
All right, Bills over the Vikings. That took a shock to me. 27-6. That really took a shock to me. Next, we're going to
Josh
the
Allen
next.
looks really well. He looks really good.
He does. Now, going to the next slide to finish out the NFL scores. We had the Panthers over the Bengals, 31-21. Another upset, Titans over the Jaguars, 9-6. I think Leonard Fournette's absence really hurt them this week.
Yes, it did, Tim, because their run game was not efficient against the Titans, and that's what Leonard Fournette brings to that team.
49ers lose to the Chiefs, and they lose Jimmy Garoppolo for the season. With
Jimmy the GOAT Garoppolo.
ACL, so the 49ers are going to...
That's going to really suck for them.
It's going to hurt them a lot. And the other upset of the week, which I saw was really, this surprised me, is the Patriots losing to the Detroit Lions 26-10. No, Jordan, we had about three or four upsets this past week. So let's think. Are the Patriots that bad right now, or are they just having a little slump?
I just think, Tim, they just have too many holes right now that they can't fix. And with injuries, a couple suspensions, it's just, I think it's too much, and maybe Tom Brady can't carry his team this year. Let's hope not.
All right, well, sticking to our college picks, we're going to go to the NFL picks now. Our first game is going to be on Thursday night. It's going to be the Vikings versus the Rams. Who do you got, Jordan?
I have the Rams taking it out here, Tim. The Vikings just haven't looked strong, and the Rams are just on such good momentum right now. I just see them steamrolling through the Vikings.
Defense wins championships.
Two good defenses there. Vikings.
Just ask the Dallas Mavericks. Just ask the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. Defense wins championships. Defense will win this game. The better defense is the Rams.
Two defensive battles.
Rams over the Vikings. Ravens and Steelers. Good.
I have the Steelers.
Good rivalry right there.
I have the Steelers, Tim. Even with all the no Le'Veon Bell, them being conflicted, just the Steelers as a team themselves, just chemistry's just been off. But I see them taking this one from the Ravens.
I think that's too much distraction. I feel like Le'Veon Bell will get traded, or if he gets traded, he's going to get traded this upcoming week. But I think that's just too many distractions. I think Ravens are underrated. Joe Flacco doesn't perform. Hey, you got Lamar Jackson. I think he's a good quarterback coming out of Louisville. And I have the Ravens over the Steelers. And then Chiefs and Broncos. Who do you have right there, bud?
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech boy, gunslinger. He's just looked too good to be losing to them.
He is too good. Undefeated Chiefs. Broncos defense has been edgy a little. They got in a little trouble with their rookie running back Lindsey throwing a punch last week. I think he's going to get suspended. There's no word on it yet, but I have Chiefs taking this one in. Jordan, who is your upset pick this week?
I have Josh Allen, cannon of an arm, beating the Packers this week. I see the Bills taking this out on their last week win. It was a good win for them, and I can see them upsetting the Packers.
I know they lost. I know they lost last week, but Bernard, Joe Mixon, Andy Dalton's kind of he's
AJ Green, John Ross performing
50-50. It depends on when Andy Dalton comes, but I have the Bengals over Falcons, and that's a fact. That's a straight fact. It's gonna be a tough game though. It's gonna be a very tough game for the Bengals. The Bengals will take it out.
The Falcons did really well versus the Saints. It wasn't their offense that put them down because Matt Ryan had 300 plus passing yards.
But
their offense
I know it's Drew Brees and they have running backs and wide receivers, but the Falcons defense left 43 points on the board. So wrapping up football, let's go. There's a very, very busy MLB is waiting this week. We have the Braves clinching the NL East. They're going back to the playoffs for the first time since 2013. The A's clinched their playoff spot last night. They're back since 2014. Then Boston won the AL East. I know they clinched, but they have actually won the AL East for the third straight time. That's the first time in franchise history. The Yankees clinched the first AL wildcard spot, and it looks to be
classic Yankees.
classic Yankees. It looks to be that they will have that home field advantage. Staying with the Yanks, Didi Gregorius, he went in for a slide and he torn ligaments in his right.
He split out the season.
He slid out the season. He torn ligaments. He tore some cartilage. I'm sorry, in his right wrist, and he's out for the remainder of the season. How big is that gonna hurt the Yankees going into the postseason?
It's definitely gonna make a dent in their lineup, and they just need to be able to play around it and get someone who can at least get the job done or do it.
They have
somewhat
Carlos
well.
Stanton. They have the Judge. They have two bad bumps, but that defense, is that really gonna hurt them in the infield?
I don't think it'll hurt them enough to make them get knocked out the playoffs early or anything. I could see them.
But they will be a
go.
wild card though, so it'll be a one-game thing. So do you
Yankees.
do you see them coming out of the wild card? It's looking like it's going to be the Yankees and the A's in that wild card, but
I can see them beating the A's.
But the predictions will come when playoffs come, and that's most likely going to be soon.
Next episode.
Next episode. The San Francisco Giants have fired their general manager after 25 years. He has 3 World Series under his belt with 10 plus playoff appearances. So that was a good run. Sucks, really does. But
I think
they've been on the downhill. And talk about firing. This past week, my Texas Rangers have fired Jeff Bannister, and I don't like that at all. It really upset me. Only 4 years as a Texas coach. He was a bench coach with the Pirates, and I didn't have faith in that. But he took us to the playoffs twice his first 2 seasons. I know we got eliminated by the Toronto Blue Jays.
But it's a positive.
I don't see it as a positive. He's won AL Coach of the Year. He has 2 AL West divisional championships under his belt. It's only been 4 seasons. I mean, we were rebuilding, and now we're in a slump again, as you can see. But with Adrian Beltre leaving the Rangers, I hope he doesn't. But why would you fire Jeff Bannister? I think that's a dumb move by John Daniels. I didn't like what he did. I think he should have had 1 or 2 more years left with the Rangers to see what he can do, and then a firing could happen. Or if we can get back in the playoffs, he would have extended his contract. But firing Jeff Bannister was probably the worst thing John Daniels and the Texas Rangers could have ever done. Part of this season and this past couple of years, the Nelson Cruz not running towards the freaking ball that catch the World Series game winning. Ending.
Let me ask you something, Tim.
Go ahead.
What if he had to fire Jeff to keep Beltre? Would you be okay with the move?
I would keep Jeff Bannister. Jeff
Or
Bannister.
Adrian Beltre.
I would keep Jeff Bannister. Adrian Beltre, I know he's towards his end. I would love him to play another 3-4 seasons with us and then retire. But Jeff Bannister's still young. He's still new. He had a lot going for him the first 2 or 3 seasons. And we can just put Dearson Porfar as a third baseman as a third baseman. Adrian Beltre can go, I think, to the Red Sox. I feel like that's where he's going to go, or just retired. But I would keep Jeff Bannister to answer your question. But wrapping up all that MLB postseason, that will come in next week and the week after. We'll keep you updated on that. Have our predictions, have all that. That's all in that baseball setting. To hockey now, are wrapping up with hockey. Actually, the Golden Knights extended Shea Theodore's contract to, I think it was 5 or 7 years. 7 years, and it's gonna be like a 5.2 average. I haven't read the full details. That happened just today. I haven't read the full details, but I do know the date now of hockey dropping. The season starts next Wednesday, October 3rd. I'm ready for this season. I'm ready for the Stars. I think we look great in the preseason. We'll be fine. And Jordan, that's the end of the show.
Signing off once again.
Signing
Episode
off.
2 down.
I'm gonna give shout outs to
Bryce Pauly.
Verse.
He has like. Never mind. Shout out to Bryce. Tim, your turn.
Hilda, Jocelyn, just everyone in that family. Love y'all all. Shout out to my family, Jordan's family. Well, Steven, hit the exit. That's it.